Hey, friends, we're looking forward to being with you for a few short minutes
Yeah.
with some power pack stuff that will change your life. This is Dr. Ken Canfield and Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield, and we're here for dads. We
Woo!
love those
Yep.
who are supporting dads, and dads,
Yep.
we're here for you. And what we've been doing over the past 3 weeks is going over the essence of this book right now, newly released. It's Let's Talk, conversation starters for dads and daughters. And what I want to talk about today, you are going to want to see and take some notes. Not only is it powerful and life changing, but this is what we're going to hit. Lead your daughter to love.
Okay, here we go. Just to kind of see the a little bit of the roadmap, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So as you know, we did 2 weeks on Lead Her to Lament, and I love that Ken wanted to start there, just having gone through everything he has with the loss of his wife last year. And then we had Lead Her to Laugh. I think last week, honestly,
Oh, we were laughing.
we laughed our heads off, and we've been laughing all week.
Oh, yeah.
And so tonight, our focus is on Lead Her to Love.
Love.
That's the next
All
L.
you need is love.
All you need is love.
Dun, dun,
Bum,
dun,
bum,
dun,
bum,
dun.
dum. Okay, we are not being listened to because we can
Right.
sing. But
Okay,
there you go.
so what we have here is 60 conversation starters. And this lead to love has a little bit of a twist to it because it's not just, hey, I love you, I love you. It's lead your
Right.
daughter to love herself. And Michelle, you've written right here in the beginning something that I want to just dwell on because this is
Okay.
real important. It's our goal as fathers is to lead your daughter to love herself while embracing who she is in a positive way. Then out of the overflow, she can pour her beauty and loving kindness into others with an empowered desire to positively impact the world.
Right.
Now, that's a little bit different take than I first got when I read through this, but it's powerful because a daughter who knows and loves herself, having
Yeah.
been endowed by her dad, is a powerful tool
Right.
that really can bring change to a world. And as I said before, guys, this is who's going to visit you in the nursing home someday.
Right.
For real, for
Right.
real. Okay. So as you think about that, and that just says to me, I need to hear more from you because you have been teaching dads who have daughters for over 10 years. And the
See,
10,
we help each other.
Okay. And the 10 years, she's been able to unearth through small group experience some powerful things as dads were vulnerable, as they
Yeah.
didn't know what to do when it came to loving their daughter or leading her to love herself.
Right.
So with that, what comes to mind, and lead us in this discussion because you're going to learn some tips that will be life-changing. I guarantee it.
Well, the truth is, I'm from a different planet than you are as men, right? I'm from Venus, you're from Mars.
Correct.
I speak Venusian, you speak Martian, and a lot of times that's where we miss each other. Where dads sometimes will say, if you would have just said it that way, I would have understood. And we're over here going, I didn't know how to say that any clearer for you, Dad.
Yeah.
And then we miss each other, right? Even
Absolutely.
unintentionally. And so I wonder, Ken, if sometimes dads really know the power they have in building up the confidence of their daughters, the core strength of their daughters. Her identity is oftentimes shaped in dramatic and profound ways by the way her dad loves her. And here's the one thing that I've seen is in my 25 years of clinical practice, in my 40 years, I know I'm aging myself at 60, but in my 40 years of mentoring young women, teenagers, what I've seen is that you can tell the difference oftentimes between a girl, a young woman who's been loved well by her dad.
Absolutely.
Because there's a confidence inside of her that I have said leads her then to know more of who she is, who she wants to be with, what she wants to do. And when a daughter knows who she is and who she is, right? That's even a spiritual, a God piece there oftentimes.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that then she won't go looking for love
in
all the wrong places. Right? Okay, we did not practice that.
No.
I know you couldn't
For
tell.
you country music fans, this was for you, man.
But really, she won't go looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yes.
Instead,
This is powerful.
she will go looking to love
Yes.
in all the right places.
Oh, I love that.
And by right, I mean right for her.
Safe.
So what's right for one isn't right for another.
Right.
And we all have a lane that we've been created to, I would say, drive in or walk in. And dads, you have a powerful impact and influence in helping your daughter figure out who she is.
Yes.
Because there's so many influences, we all know. We all know that, right?
Mhm.
Telling us who we are. In fact, just this week I've talked with a couple teenage girls, and one of them said, I don't like my long, lean legs. And I said, why?
Mm.
And she said, because kids at school have made fun of me this past year for them. And I never minded them before that.
Wow.
So that's just an example of how this girl is not loving the way she's created or her height or her shape because of being made fun of
Yeah.
outside in the world. Again, that's where the power of a dad's positive reflection back to his daughter at home is so powerful.
That can break through some of the peer pressure.
Right.
Now, dads, you underestimate your role and power
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
You can beam messages of love and care and
Yeah.
protection that can overwhelm those images from the outside. One of your ABBA Project father dads in small group, he went to a store, and what did he do?
He actually, oh no, this isn't one that I know. It's a story I've heard of.
Oh,
Well, I was
okay.
telling you about where
Okay.
a dad sat in the Target aisle and looked at magazines. They took photos of him there
Mhm.
and wrote all the messages that were on the front of magazines about age defying and get naked and be infallible. And he reworded those things to say, you know, yeah, if you're going to get naked, don't do it with your clothes. He said, keep your clothes on, but get
Right.
naked with vulnerability. Take
Yes.
your gloves off. Fight out there. Like he reframed that. And I
Yes.
think that's really powerful. But I want to switch this, Ken.
Okay. Come
And
on.
I want to ask you, how have you've raised 3 daughters.
I have.
They're adults now. They're married. They're mamas themselves.
Yes.
I imagine that some of the dads listening would say, okay, you guys are telling us what to do and how to do it. I'd love to hear some stories from you about how you have raised daughters who knew you not only loved them, but liked them.
Yes.
How'd you do it?
Well, a couple of things. These are great daughters. Each of them have children. And one of the things we did, Michelle, is we let them talk and say whatever at the dinner table. Now, they were respectful, of course, but we affirmed their viewpoints. We listened to their opinions. And right now, I have 3 son-in-laws. And you know what they say about these Canfield girls?
What?
They say, they're overconfident. They think they're right about everything. Now, I'm glad I'm not married to them. I just raised them and empowered them. And their husbands are like, what? And what I found that taking them and being a part of my life together, we've traveled. I've taken them to high places, low places, to the White House and to the outhouse, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that allowed this in a practical
Yeah.
way to really endow them.
Well, let me just say, too, one of the other things that I know you've done is not only taken your daughters with you, but you gave them opportunities to get up with you and do presentations
Sure.
or emceeing at events. Like
Oh.
you let them really, I would say you played to their strengths and let them try new things to
Yes.
figure out, you know, where they were gifted and what they were good at.
And I could say my youngest daughter, she didn't want to get up. She just wanted to run things from behind.
So you let her.
I did.
So
and she was
again,
awesome.
See, this is what I wanted to highlight, Ken, is
Okay.
that I know that you've walked your talk. So you're not just telling dads what to do to avoid pitfalls. I mean, even though you weren't perfect, of
Oh,
course,
no.
you know, there's things you would have done
I
different.
had to say I'm sorry, and I'm still learning to say I'm sorry for things that I missed. And you know, the mark of a father, and listen up, dads, it's not whether you failed or didn't make the grade as to what you think it should be. It's what you do now with this information.
Mhm.
And hold on, because you're going to hear something that is very powerful in just a minute.
I want to highlight something you just said. Did you guys notice that he talked about how his son-in-laws have commented on the confidence that his daughters have? And Ken, that's something that really I think is a part of loving your daughters well. If you wonder, how am I doing in loving my daughter? Notice how confident she is. Like on a 0 to 10 scale, ask yourself, what number would you give? Because there's a real correlation between self-confidence in a girl or a woman and how much she knows she's loved. And I'm telling you, when the messages are coming in of I have failed here, or I tried and failed, or guys don't want to date me, or
Right.
I'm being rejected by guys or women at work.
Mhm.
I hear it both ways. When you come home at the end of the day, or you get on the phone at the end
Mhm.
of the day or FaceTime and
Yeah.
have your dad tell you, you're enough. I love you just the way you are.
Just the way
You're
you
not
are.
too much for me. Can you tell that's one of the messages I've gotten a lot? Michelle is too much. My report cards. Michelle talks too much. But I love that you said, I let my girls talk at the dinner table. They could
Yes.
express opinions. Dads, maybe that's something to take home with you today. Is if you have a daughter that you're maybe wanting to quiet her down and have her be less intense, just remember that you can fan into flame her having a voice. That's a
Oh,
big
yes.
part
That is
of
so
us
important.
knowing
So
we're
important.
okay the way we're wired if we're one that's more prone to having
Yeah.
opinions.
Yes. Very good. And you know, one thing now, having 9 granddaughters,
Mm.
I have learned you as a father figure, as me as a grandfather, can empower them by blessing them. So I've
Mhm.
got this little thing I just got to show you. And I put this up while we were out to eat. I said, "What do you see?" And it's, "I see in you." Now I said, "What does that say?"
Did
Well,
you just bring this with you to
yes,
dinner?
yes.
Okay, but
I put it.
sign.
And so at the dinner table, when we were out to eat, I said, "This is what I see in you, Grace. I see in you, Rose. I see in you." And Flora. And it was a time for me to see
Mm.
what that is in them that is just powerful, is beautiful. And it's a way that we as fathers and grandfathers can bless our grandchildren and our daughters too.
Because
So,
what we do is we replay the words you speak to us.
hmm,
I mean, really, it's like we have a tape recorder. Okay, I'm aging myself there with that one, a
yeah,
DVD player, whatever you want
yes,
to call
cassette,
it,
I bet too.
or I know, right?
Yeah,
But really, whatever version that is, we're replaying the messages in our heads that you speak to us. And sadly, this is actually a true story, Ken, is just this week.
Hmm.
I had a daughter with her dad there
Mhm.
talking to me saying she was replaying a swear word. I won't even say it, but a name he called her.
Oh no.
And she said, I keep replaying. And I asked her, do you keep replaying it or have you moved on? She said, I keep
Can't get
replaying
it
it.
out of her
And I've
head.
asked my friends, do you think I'm that
Oh
word?
no.
Now, again, I know that dad was in an intense place himself. He
Right.
got angry. But like Ken had said, it's all about being willing to say you're sorry.
Yeah.
Because really, then your daughter won't internalize that it's true of her, but that was said in a moment of frustration.
Right?
And you got to make amends.
Yeah.
If you want a daughter who loves herself
Yes.
and knows she's worthy of being
Yeah.
loved,
Who doesn't want
right?
that?
That she's worthy of being
Yes.
loved, mistakes and all,
Yeah.
flaws and all. And we're going to be talking about the flaws next.
Yeah. Now there is a question. Now she has questions in every chapter, and listen to this. This is super powerful.
So here's a question that you, dad, can
Okay.
ask your daughter.
All right, Dad, you're saying to your daughter, if I were to fill up your love tank and make you feel more loved, special, accepted, and enjoyed, what could I do specifically to make that happen?
Okay, read it one more time.
Okay, if I were to fill up your love tank, sweetheart, and that's, applying to your daughter, and make you feel more loved, special, accepted, and enjoyed, what can I do specifically to make it happen? Dads, you can make it happen, but we have to know what that is.
And like I've told you, your daughter didn't come with a playbook,
No.
but you're going to write one. So as you ask your daughter that question, what could I do specifically for you? That's going to help fill up her heart space.
Yes.
And before we're done, Ken, I think one of the things we've got to talk about is something that I've actually called a pandemic for
Mhm.
many years before we've actually been
Had a
in one.
pandemic.
But that is something, and what I mean by that is that's something I've heard in 40 years of talking with women, mentoring women, coaching women, and young girls that I hear repeatedly, and it's part of my own story too, and it has to do with body image.
Oh.
So the image that I have of myself
Mhm.
is largely shaped by the size of my body. And I used to weigh about 50 pounds more than I do now. In my 30s, I was dealing with a lot, as I've shared with you already before, about abuse in my history. And a lot of times, and that doesn't always go together, but for me it did. ate my feelings, if you will, shoved down what was coming up just with food. And obviously it manifested in weight gain. I can tell you at times I remember walking in the house. I was living with my parents at the time. This was after college. I felt like a loser because of that. And I was living there and walked in the front door and looked in a mirror in the hallway and hated what I saw. Ran down to my bedroom, sobbing on the bed for a long time. And in that moment, the last thing I ever thought of was, do I love myself? And what kind of impact then do I have on the world? Because when I don't love myself, I'm not able to give out love to the people around me because I'm miserable, right? And so I would love to end with just talking a little bit about that idea of body image and how dads can be a game changer in helping to bring healing to that area as they speak truth and life into that self-image, that view that a daughter has of her entire self based on her body.
Now, let me set this up. I've seen Michelle speak in major places across the country, and I've seen her in small groups. What you're about to get is a secret that will change and add a dynamic to your relationship that you can add, Dad. And this is a game changer. So tell us what you are prompted to do.
Well, and this, this secret, if you will, that I'm going to share with you is one that even last week I had a dad write me and say, years ago I heard you talk on this and I'm still doing it today.
Right.
So when dads tell me this stuck, this is effective, I can do it right? Remember, I've told you that I've seen that men sometimes would rather do nothing than do it wrong. I'm telling you, there's no way you can do this wrong.
No.
This is a guaranteed success strategy for reaching your daughter's heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to start by asking you, Ken, a question, and men listening, or moms too. Where is this phrase? Yeah, grandmoms and granddads.
Yeah.
But here's a phrase I'm going to give you. Tell me where this is from.
Oh.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Where's that from?
Oh, it's Snow White.
Bingo. It's Snow White. You probably knew that. Next question. Who is it that spoke those words?
It was that wicked witch.
Bingo. If she was actually the stepmother.
The stepmother.
Of Snow White.
No disrespect to great stepmothers that are on right now, but in
this one. Okay, so do you all realize that the stepmother was the queen?
Mm-hmm.
She was the woman with the power, and she asked a mirror, an inanimate object, whether or not she was beautiful.
Yeah, I remember.
She said, who's the fairest?
Right.
So you have a woman with power asking an inanimate object to define her beauty.
That's nuts.
And the truth is, men, dads, granddads, the females in your life are still asking inanimate objects every day whether they're worthy of love, whether they're enough, whether they're okay just the way they are, and whether they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Whether she's comparing herself to the magazine cover, or that's an inanimate object, or a scale and the number on the scale, or whether she's asking the size on her jeans, and on it goes. Yeah. Inanimate objects
are controlling.
Yes.
Yes.
And leading and dictating whether or not we're beautiful enough, or just enough at all, or worthy of love. Mm-hmm. And this is where I want to give you another powerful object lesson. I love things that make a teaching or an idea more memorable. Okay. So you can see here that I have two mirrors, right? Okay, first mirror. Ooh, I don't want to get a glare in your eyes, but it can, if I have you look at that mirror, you can see yourself. Boy, that's you.
I got to do some work.
Okay, there he is, right? You look in the mirror and go, that looks like you. Same day, same outfit, same hairstyle, same you.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give you this mirror. And I'm going to say, okay, look in this. Do you look any different?
Yeah, I'm fractured.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fractured.
So the point that I'm making is that the mirror you look in has everything to do with how you see yourself. So think about that in relationship to your daughter. Is if you are living out of your own brokenness.
Yes.
And that is right. We all have brokenness, but when your brokenness really over here is kind of coming in front of being a mirror who reflects back a positive image of your daughter, because your own brokenness is getting triggered a lot. I just say, first of all, Dad, go do your own work. There's a way to heal.
Sure.
Ken and I are living proof of that. But Dad, I think this visual may serve to remind you that your daughter is looking in a mirror every day.
Yes.
Every person she meets, including you, is a mirror reflecting back an image of who she is.
Mhm.
And if those mirrors, including you, are giving her a cracked image, she's going to then struggle to love herself,
Mhm.
step into who she really is,
Mhm.
and then she's less effective in giving out love to the world. And I think we're in a time now, to state the obvious, where we need more love.
Yes.
Well, a way to have that happen, Dad, is that you can pour love into your daughter's heart space
Mhm.
by affirming her, loving her, building her up. And I have never yet in all my years had a woman ever tell me my dad loved me way too much. It actually got kind of old.
Mhm.
It was just, I was sick of it after a
Mhm.
certain point. I've never heard that.
And we're not talking about loving and giving them gifts and stuff. We're talking about doing the stuff that sometimes is hard, looking specifically
Yeah.
for what makes her feel enjoyed, accepted,
Yeah.
prized.
But it could be gifts.
It
I just
could.
want to say, 5 love languages. What are they? Words of affirmation, acts of service,
Sure.
touch, gifts, and
Not discounting.
which one did I forget?
Uh,
Quality time.
Quality
But
time.
you're not discounting it. I just want to clarify that all of the variety of ways
Right.
that
And-
you invest go in.
Yeah, I would say this, and this helps me so much. In the land of plenty, where we have so much stuff, we have storage units to keep our extra stuff. We can tend to materialize and miss the
Mhm.
emotive and
Yeah.
miss the stuff. And what you have done is help dads create something that's a game changer.
Yes.
Putting on the mirror.
Okay,
that-
so don't give it away. Can you
Okay.
hand me my stack over there?
Yep.
I think it got moved.
Yeah.
I want to show you, dads, what you can do to make a difference in the lives of your daughters in relation to this idea of a mirror. Because it is often for us as women, the place where every flaw of ours, we see it in the mirror, every flaw. And the voices in our head are so loud, and they're usually in second person. I've heard daughters say things like, "You're fat, you're a
Mhm.
pig, you're gross, no wonder no guys like you."
Well,
And I'm looking at these women going, where are you getting that view? So here's what I want to say, Dad, is the way you can have a battle plan
mhm.
to reach your daughter's heart and get inside of her head where she's being attacked constantly. It's constant. I'm living proof of that, of the negative voices in her head that tell her she's not enough, that have been
Mhm.
internalized from the world, sometimes from you, maybe unintentionally or intentionally. But I'm saying, go get a pack of sticky notes, go get a dry erase marker, or even just a pen where you're going to write her a note telling her what she means to you. I guarantee she'll hold on to that. But here's the idea I wanted to give you, Dad, is today, before the end of the day,
Come on.
either grab some sticky notes that you have in a drawer, grab a dry erase marker, and go right on the mirror in your daughter's bedroom, bathroom, it may be her car, where you're telling her words of love that say, "I love you just the way you are. I'm so grateful I get to be your dad."
Oh.
Things like that. And then put it on her mirror as a surprise to her. I can tell you stories of dads across the country that have done this.
Across the country.
Let me show you a few pictures. My goodness, I know the time is going way too fast, so I'll go quickly.
Hang
Here's
on.
Brittany. Look at her dad wrote down the side of her mirror these words. This picture was taken by her dad 5 months after her dad said, "You are thoughtful, you are kind, you are a hard worker." He put that on her mirror. He came in and said for this photo, "I can't believe she still has them up 5 months later." I said, "Yep. Guarantee your words make a difference, Dad." Here's Danielle and her dad, Mark. Look at that. 22 years old. Brittany was in 8th grade at the time of that photo. It doesn't matter the age of your daughter. She's
No.
going to light up. Here's my friend Joe from last week, the one that I told you said, "I haven't forgotten what you taught me." So this dad wrote these words to his 28-year-old daughter. "You are looking at someone I love very much,
Yeah.
and I'm so proud of you. Love you, Dad."
Mm.
He said she never said a word, but when he went in to take the photo, she'd actually moved it to another side of her mirror.
She wanted to keep it.
Here's another dad that I've coached that put this on his daughter's car mirror, as you can see. "You are so kind, and it shows with your giving heart." Isn't that awesome? Love, Dad. So you've got this dad that says, "Love you so much. I'm so proud." love dad. So dad, you can get creative on where you put these messages. I have other pictures dad have shown me where they've written in the dry erase marker on the mirror, and it has an impact. Moms, you can do this too. I have
Right.
dads that have done this with their sons.
Yes.
Let me give one more idea for
Okay.
dads who travel that
Yeah.
may say, you know, I'm on the road a lot of the times. I realize with the virus it's
Mm-hmm.
changed. But I have a dad named Tim Truesdale who said, I never go anywhere in my travels. He's a ministry guy without this dry erase marker you gave me, Michelle. He says, I don't go anywhere without it. He said, now when I'm in a hotel,
Mhm.
I write on the mirror of the hotel, take a photo, and in real time,
Ooh.
I send my daughter
Go,
a
Tim.
text to say how much I love her. So, Dad, what we're basically saying is there's no way you can do it wrong. If you're not a writer,
Yeah.
just put I love you.
And
Put
these
anything in writing.
exactly. Yeah. Those words are precious and
Mhm.
powerful.
Yeah.
So get that mirror up. The good
Get
mirror.
the mirror. Oh, the
Okay.
good mirror out. Because
Okay.
we want to end by just saying, Dad, you don't have to be a perfect mirror, but let today be a day where you don't end the day before you affirm your daughter, speak words of life, which are words of love, into her heart space. And I guarantee that will water the soil of her heart and allow her to spring up with new life.
As an example, vicariously for you men, I want to say you're the best for doing the best. So you put you're the best because you are game changers.
Yeah.
When you endow your daughter with these words in a place where she goes to look for affirmation every day, what you're doing is giving her the confidence, the strength that is going to make her the woman that we are all waiting to see unveiled. It's protective and powerful.
And let me even add, and if you have little girls at home,
Oh,
you're raising them to be warriors, to be strong voice, strong with their voice, and truth tellers and truth speakers,
yes.
to be
Come
world
on.
changers.
That's
And
what we
that's
need.
so important too, that even now there's not an age, there's not a daughter too young or an age too young to start this idea of writing messages on our mirrors. So tell us stories. We'd love to hear from you. Keep this conversation going.
And to you, daughters,
Yeah.
mothers, grandmothers, I just want to say we think you're the best, and we believe that the heroes are just waiting to say the same to you. So, dads, go for it.
Yeah. We're with you. We love you. We affirm you. And we look forward to next week where we will be talking about lead her to look
Look. Yes.
inside herself. We're going to be talking
Yes.
about some of the deep end of the pool topics. So thanks for joining us.
Okay.
We've loved having you here.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.